Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Bruce Perry have now co-authored a new book. It's called What Happened to You, and it explores how traumas from childhood can impact your worldview. Childhood trauma can have long-lasting repercussions on mental, emotional, physical health as well, and it can last well into adulthood.
Oh, wow. And today we're here with Blanca Cobb, who has a master's in psychology, to talk about ways not to let childhood trauma define you, especially if you become a parent yourself or if you're already a parent.
So Blanca, we're going to get right into this important topic. First, what's a way to not let childhood trauma define a person?
Realize that you don't have to become your experience. That's where you have to make a decision that you're not going to let it take over your life. You can change what happened. You can turn that, what I mean by that is that you can turn that trauma into triumph, right? So when you're moving forward and you have kids, depending on what your circumstances were, you can make sure it's different for your children. And that happens with a lot of parents. For example, they might want to talk more, problem solve more, and show more patience. Another situation could be, instead of raising voices, they may have timeouts. So it's just, you take whatever bad happened that you don't like and you just flip it, you turn it, you twist it to make sure it's different in your interactions with your own children.
So, Blanca, should parents talk about their own childhood trauma to their children?
There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's an individual decision, but I suggest all parents make sure that your children can really understand what you're talking about if you do decide to share that with them. Some parents will tell, and the reason they want to share is because they want their children to understand why they parent the way they do. At a certain point, your children are going to be old enough that they're going to compare how you handle things versus how their friends' parents handle things. For example, your child might say, well, why can't I go over to my friends and spend the night? Because all my other friends get to go spend the night places, or they come over here and spend the night. So eventually your child might ask you some questions, and you might want to give them some information that you think is appropriate for them. Or your child might say, why can't I just ride in the neighborhood by myself on my bicycle? Why do you or dad or you or mom always have to be with me? Those, again, they're going to start making some comparisons, and you might want to explain.
And you talk about explaining it to children, Blanca. How important is it to explain past traumas to your partner?
It's very important. And the reason is if you're parenting or co-parenting together, you influence each other. And if they don't know what your triggers are, or they don't understand what happened to you, they might be scratching their head going, why does he or she feel this way? Or why won't they let our kid do X, Y, or Z? But if you can explain it, then you don't know what kind of solutions they can have to help you deal with any triggers that might come up when you're parenting, that might trigger something that happened in your own childhood. So it is important. They can give you support that you might need, and also you two can brainstorm together about how you want to move forward and do things differently for your own children.
This is all very helpful and useful information a lot of families can use out there. Thank you so much, Blanca.